Now, a lot of the habitat improvements for whitetails are a lot of fun to complete and actually install and work on. I mean, it's all a labor of love. I'm sure all of you can relate to that out there. But water holes, they're a lot of fun. And there's a few reasons they're a lot of fun. I mean, they actually work. They define deer movement to a very small location. If deer are bedding dry and they're on the way to food, there's a food plot right out here, then these water holes can be the perfect one-stop, quick stop destination and definition of travel to work out a couple stand locations. We have 2 on either side of here. One word of caution about water holes. You have to use enough water. You have to use a large enough tank. Just save yourself some time. There's some advice out there online or videos, whatever. You could use a 15, 20, 25 gallon tank. Folks, don't. We were doing that 15 years ago. We've been doing this a long time ago. Cutting half barrels, 27.5 gallon tanks. You fill them with water, and on a day like this is perfect because we're gonna fill these. It's nice fresh rain. We'll hope that they flow out, gets rid of some of the crummy water in here. We rake these out every year, one time a year, get the leaves out, the sticks out, make sure they're fresh. And actually a good time to do that is when you're actually getting into frost and freeze time, so that a lot of the bacteria, bugs that might get into the water and brackish up the water a little bit are being killed by that frost. So that would be around here. We could maybe start working on that in September, mid-September. But we're getting a lot of full water holes going into the spring and summer with just a natural rain and runoff. But you've got to use a large enough tank. What happens is deer get used to, and we have trails coming here, we have a mock scrape behind me. There's a lot of deer use. They come to the water hole, they go to the food plot, they come from the food plot, go to the water hole, go to bedding. Very defined movement, but if the water in this tank, and the reason that they're coming and funneling through here anyways, if that dries out, those deer will still come 2 or 3 times, 4 times. I don't know what the number is, but eventually they stop coming. It's like if you put food out for a dog outside on your porch, a stray dog, and it keeps coming, take the food away, it's eventually going to stop coming, and that's the same with deer. So is that pattern going to be 60 yards down the hill on the bench that's over here? Is it going to be on the neighbor's land over here that's 70 yards away? Is it going to be through the brush right here so that this stand is taken out of play and this stand's the only one that's working? I don't want to allow that to happen. So it's very important that this is a 70 to 80 gallon tank. This is the bare minimum size that I would recommend. And of course, we're digging these all the way into the ground so we get some saucering around it. So when we're getting this rain right now, it's going to help self-fill this tank. It'll actually clean it out a little bit because we'll get a lot more water in here than it needs to. It's only a couple inches from the top. We'll maintain that pattern of use by the deer. What I found is if you break that pattern, your water dries out, then you're probably going to have to wait 10 days to 2 weeks is what I've experienced for those deer in the area to start reintroducing that pattern to their daily pattern, their daily movement. And folks, if your water runs out middle of October, end of October, early November, mid-November, then do you really have 10 days to 2 weeks to wait for those deer to reestablish? And do you want to fill your water holes the end of October, early November? I don't. I want to stay out of here. I do like to fill this sometimes in mid-October. I'm gearing up for the rut. Any intrusion that I have, I drive the vehicle, my truck, I back right in here with the tank and put water in it. But we have a lot of water holes. The fun part about all these is they actually work, and they work quickly. And so I know when I'm putting these water holes and it's dry around here, they're gonna work. We're gonna get a ton of buck footage and footage by the local deer hood using this. They're gonna show us the defined movement. They're gonna show us that they're using this mock scrape back here. And they're going to show us that this is a great spot to hunt. I should have been here October 24th the last 2 years in a row when a giant 8-pointer came in here. He should be 6 or 7 this year. So I can't wait to hunt him. I can't wait to use these water holes. We have water holes on all our properties. And I think that you'll find if you put them in right, you put them in the right size, you don't let them run out, you're going to have a lot of fun with water holes. And these water holes and this habitat improvements, one of the best improvements you can make for whitetails in the off season. I encourage you to do it right now. We're in mid-May, late May, and from now through July, August is a great time to install these. Make sure you dig them in deep and enjoy.